Digitizing and embroidering caps has several things that need to be taken into consideration due to their shape and construction in order for them to stitch out successfully. The most common problems with caps is misregistration and distortion due to the movement of the cap on the embroidery machine. Things to consider when digitizing caps. Always digitize your design from the center out. For lettering, select the Center Out feature in the Text Properties window. The center seam can be very bulky, causing uneven stitching, gaps, or even distortion when embroidering over this area. Paying attention to the stitch angle, underlay, and sequencing is very important. Try to minimize stitches going in the seam and plan stitches to go over the seam. Working from the center out will help you because the first series of stitches will be dealing with the center seam. And slightly increasing the amount of underlay to lettering helps makes the surface more stable and lifts the stitches up to overcome the problem of the stitches sinking in. In this exercise we will be digitizing What's Your Forte cap. First, select the lettering icon and click in the center of the work area. The text window opens. In the text box, enter the word Forte. In the Character Map section, double-click on the E with the accent mark. This is a shortcut way to enter European characters without having to know the combination of keystrokes. Under the Settings tabs, we're going to select the font, which will be Basket Case. We'll keep the baseline straight. We're going to follow the baseline. We're going to check kern. We're going to enter the character size as 0.928 or 23.6 millimeters. The character spacing we're going to keep at 0.039 or 1 millimeter. The word spacing is going to stay at 55. We're going to change the character width to 95%. Under the Stitches tab, we're going to change the setting to 63.5 or 2.5 millimeter. The stitch length we're going to change to 0.157 or 4 millimeters. We're going to keep the lock stitch checked and the trim checked at letters. We're going to check underlay. We're going to select narrow column with a width at 76%. And the density stays at 40.317 or 1.587 millimeters. We're going to change the sewing direction to center out, and we're going to select OK. Now we're going to select the lettering icon again and click above the word Forte. This time we're going to enter the words What's Your. We're going to keep the same font, but we're going to change the size to 0.402 or 10.2 millimeters. We'll leave the character spacing the same. And we're going to keep the character width the same. And under the stitches, we're going to set the density to 60 or 2.38 millimeters. The stitch length we're going to change to 0.091 or 2.3 millimeters. We're going to check Underlay and select Center Walk. We're going to keep the sewing direction set to center out, and we're going to click OK.